Hi everybody, Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri. Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the middle of, heading for the end actually, of 31 projects in 31 days. Tonight we are going to use the Delicate Pines bundle. Actually, it's got designer series paper and gems that match, so technically it's a suite also. And so we're gonna make a fun diamond, triple diamond edge card. I saw this and I had to, it was an Australian demonstrator, and I had to adjust the measurements because their measurements are a little bit different than ours. And so hopefully I've done this right. My sample, I'm almost happy with, but then I realized when I stamped the inside that it was, I stamped the words in the wrong place on the inside because I could see them from the front, which kind of irritated me. So I'm gonna wait to stamp the inside for this one until I have the front put together. So let's get going. I'll turn you around here. All right, so we are using, like I said, the Elegant Pines bundle. Let me get my laptop going here so that way I can see comments. Oh, hi Sheila, thanks for watching. All right. I realize what a mess I am tonight. All right, but I do feel better. So there's that. I can talk for more than 2 minutes without coughing. So I'm gonna call that a success. All right, so Delicate Pines is Snowflakes, which has, and also words that are really pretty font. Hi, Monica. All right, and it comes with dies that also match. We're gonna use just one of the little snowflakes today, but look, we can build snowflakes that look like pine branches, or we could put pine branches behind words. There is so much I could do with this, and so I'm only doing a couple of things with it tonight because I was too overwhelmed and I hadn't shown it yet. So let's make a card. All right, so I have my card, and it is, I knocked something in the floor. Uh-oh. We'll figure it out when I need it, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna score it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my scoreboard because I'm gonna cut it. So I have a regular 8.5 by 5.5, 5.5 by 8.5. I'm gonna score it at 4 1/4. We're gonna make it, fold it in half. And then I'm going to cut off, oh man, 1.5 inches. Yeah, I always like to double check my measurements. Measure twice, you know, that whole bit. We're gonna cut off 1.5 inches off of one side, just like that. So this piece we can put aside. I'm not sure what we'll do with that yet. Okay, that's all we need our cutter for. So I'm gonna fold it. So this is the front of our card, all right? Now, I have the inside also, and I'm gonna give it a cherry cobbler matte. Normally I don't do that, but I want it to be like the front. So my red mat, my cherry cobbler mat for this one is 5 3/8 lengthwise and 4 1/8 sideways, so that my white piece is 4 1/4. I just wanted to tell you that before I go too much farther. All right, so then my mat on the front, the cherry cobbler, that's why I needed to tell you about this one, is going to be, oh man, 2 5/8. I know sometimes people get all crazy about 8s, but I do like that tight little margin. So it's gonna go right here. But before we glue this down, I want you to decide which designer series paper you would like me to put on the front. I've got this one with the whitish background. This is the Elegant Pines designer series paper too, by the way, just all coordinates. So I've got the light colored one, and then I have the dark colored one. They're both very pretty. My sample has the white one, or a white one. Well, yeah, it is the white one. So that's what the dark would look like. So there's the dark. And there's the light. Any opinions on that? I have one, but I'm gonna wait and see what the opinion of the people is. Okay, so that's what it'll look like. Light. Okay, let's go with the light one. Thank you, ladies, for your input. All right, so we're gonna put this on the front. You probably have no idea where this card's going right now, do you? Okay, we can do that. We can put that on the front. Light, unanimous vote. Thank you so much. If somebody said dark, I would do another one later and show you, but since you all said light, and actually this is the same. All right, I'm gonna pull over my sample that's not quite done. I know where I'm going with my sample, I just didn't put all the pieces together. It's gonna look like this, but the piece that I chose, or that I cut, only a little bit of red shows, so I felt like that wasn't enough red. So this one has more of the red berries, so I like this one a little bit better. All right, now we are going to use 3 diamonds, which are squares, obviously. And they're 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I'm gonna use 3 of them, and they're gonna go here, okay? We're not gonna do that yet though. We gotta build those first. So we've got our 3, and we're gonna, so those are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then I have 3 cherry cobbler pieces, and I think that's the piece that fell. Yep. So those are 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. I know, I learned early on once, because I always cut paper for when people come to classes. I cut the paper, it's ready to go, and I didn't realize that people don't necessarily know how to use their trimmer. And so that was a real eye-opening thing for me, that people needed help with that. And so one of my first events that my friend Sarah and I did together, we had people cut 1/8 of an inch. Like it was, I don't know, 4 5/8 or something like that. So if you are one of those people, let me know. And maybe I need to do a video on how to use your paper trimmer, because sometimes I assume that people know these things and they don't. So, all right. So for the center one, I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to put my white piece on. It's just a basic white square. So 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And then the middle one is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. So we have a nice little border of all 3 colors. Oop, oop. And I used glue, so it's removable. Okay. So then that's going to be our centerpiece. I have stamped and die cut 2 of the pine tree snowflakes. Aren't they cute? And I'm going to put those together. I'm going to put them. Still not perfect with my cough, but all right. So then our snowflake looks a little fuller. So that's gonna be, ugh. There we go. All right, and I'm gonna put that on a dimensional on that one, and we can set it aside. We're gonna put that right there. Except I want to center it. There we go. Now for the top and the bottom ones, I also want to do a snowflake. But I'm gonna stamp it directly on the white. I'm not gonna pop it up like I did the center one, because the center one is actually gonna go over the top. But I want to know what you think, and I'm gonna give you a choice. All right, so originally I stamped 1 and left it. This is why I got bogged down with my sample. All right, which would look like this. And then this one would sit over the top of it. And it's all great, right? Except I think I want to double layer this one also. But I was afraid to do it before I glued it down, or after I glued it down. So I'm going to try it. We can see what we think. Okay, just angle it just a little bit. And then the dots, we're going to cover up those dots, the holly berries in the middle. So don't worry if they don't exactly line up. I think that's better. Yes, I think we're going to go with that. I'm making my own decisions right now. Hey, Pam, thanks for joining us. Pam always has opinions too, so she'll give us some opinions. She's too late for the big decision, but all right, so we're gonna do another snowflake one. We'll do this one. Just like that. All right, and then we'll glue that one on, and then we'll be ready to finish the assembly. All right, it looks very complicated, I guess, but it's not. It's just got some little pieces that we have to keep layering. All right, so now we're gonna put one at the top, and we wanna make sure that we only put glue on one half, because you know what happens when I talk and do things at the same time. So it's gonna look like this. All right, so let's go ahead, we'll put glue on one half. And then I want that point right at the top, and then I'll line up the point right below it. But I turned it the wrong way. Pay attention. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got our point there. Now let's do the same on the bottom one. Start at the outside and work your way in. I'm gonna pay attention to where my glue is this time. Oh, Pam, what's that face for? All right, so now we have our two snowflakes, top and bottom. Those are glued and ready. Now, this one, I'm gonna put right in the middle of those, so we'll have our third diamond. I'll line that up, but I'm gonna put it on dimensionals. So I need dimensionals only on one half. I'm gonna use mini dimensionals just so it's a little bit easier to place. All right, so it doesn't have to be covering the whole side, but I at least want to get the three corners. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, you'll have to eyeball it, but all right, so there's that part. Okay, now we can do the inside. And the reason that I had problems with the inside earlier, no comment, because you're making fun of me, aren't you? All right, I did celebrate the season on the inside, but I did it before I placed this triangle. So I just need to make sure that it doesn't show, because that was my issue. So we can lay it down. If I had a pencil, I could even make a little pencil mark where that, you know what, maybe I will. I'll just use my take your pick tool and just make a tiny little thing. All right, as long as I keep that little bitty dot that I'm sure you cannot see in my vision, we should be okay. Okay, so my dot is right there. Put it right on that line. Oh, I keep seeing it and then it disappears. All right, it's right there. So I'm gonna make sure that I go, hopefully I get this right. All right, so we've got Celebrate the Season. I'm gonna lay it in here just to be sure. Ta-da, okay. We can carry on. Actually, let's go ahead and stamp a snowflake or two on the inside just for fun. I'll go on this side so we can see one from the front. And then do one up here. All right, I think that'll work. All right. This one's a little bit, like I said, a little more layery than we're used to. If you're following along, if you also follow me on YouTube, make sure you check out tomorrow's Fun Fold. Tomorrow is Friday. Friday Fun Fold is a fun fold with the gingerbread man that we used last night for our card. And so I just made another card with it, and I really like it. So be sure to check that out. There we go. Now we can just see our snowflakes on the outside. We got Celebrate the Season on the inside. Now, let's top it off, and let's use the Faceted Snowflakes, which are also part of the suite. Now, I used shaded Spruce, and so these come in clear. These are pretty peacock, so those are not quite the right color. And then Cherry Cobbler. I think maybe the Cherry Cobbler would be very pretty if we put a snowflake on each one. What do you think? The red one or the clear one? Which one do you think? I like the fun folds too, Monica. I like to do them. I like to find them from different places and see who made what, and it makes it look completely different even when I do a Halloween one versus a Christmas one or a flower one in June, or that kind of thing. They all look different. So, all right, does anybody have an opinion on whether we should do a red snowflake or clear? Red. Sheila says red. Let's go red. All right, so I'm going to put small ones on the outside guy. Ooh, I think that's a good choice. And I'll put a big one on the center one. Like that. And there you go. There is our Elegant Pines Christmas card that has the diamonds down the side. Isn't that fun? All right, I'll give you a sneak peek of my gingerbread card. If you were watching last night, real quick. So I've got the Elegant Pines. This is the gingerbread card we made last night. So if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check out project number 22. And then the fun fold tomorrow is this little guy. And I'm not going to show you how it opens. You'll just have to check it out tomorrow. But that is a sneak peek of tomorrow's fun fold. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow is Friday. I will not be available in the evening to do a fun fold, no, I've already videoed my fun fold, to do a live tomorrow night because it's senior day for soccer. And some of our older kids are coming home, but my son doesn't know that yet. So hopefully you can hear me. And so we will be at soccer in the late afternoon and evening. So I won't be available. So I'm doing my live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. So I hope that you will all be able to join me. If not, I will look forward for you to catch the replay and you can tell me what you think. Hope that you all have a great night and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.